Hello and welcome to the Turn 4 podcast. I am your host, Dan Maldonado. If this is your first time listening, welcome. If you're a regular listener, welcome back. Let me introduce you to my co-host, Tim Reiner. Hey, Timmy.
Hello, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back in the saddle. It's so good.
It's good to see you.
It's been a long time.
It has been too long.
It has, but we're here and we're
yes,
ready.
We are.
We're going to make it happen.
We are ready. We are ready, but we are not insiders, which means we attempt to give you a fan's perspective on IndyCar and other forms of motorsport. Tonight, we discuss some motorsports news and notes, as well as give you our preview of the Long Beach Grand Prix. This is my first podcast, right? Out of the last two that I don't have any props.
I know.
You're not like surprised by that?
No, I'm not.
You're not disappointed that I don't
the last 2 weeks
that I don't have a prop?
Oh, you have a prop. Oh my goodness. You did not just buy
for the listeners, hat. I have a Team Penske 600 win hat. Doesn't look good. Trucker hat.
Really?
Yes.
They already came out with the hats?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
So that came expeditiously. It was, I got to tell you, anybody who listens to the show from Team Penske, they got it going on. So it came in a box, obviously, right? The tape was the Team Penske logo on the tape.
Surprised it didn't get stolen on the way to
your
house.
It's the small things in the margin that make a big difference. But yeah, that's my prop. I could wear it like this, which is how I wear it, or I guess I could do the Buddy Rice or the Max Verstappen, right?
Flat brim it. There you go.
There you go.
You're going to wear it for the whole show? Is that the plan?
Like Max Verstappen?
Can you take your hat off so we can see the Alio hair?
Yeah, because it's coming off. I'm not wearing this.
See, it didn't mess up. Wow.
Didn't do anything.
Like Alio.
There you go.
You got to wear it, though. Come on.
I will. I'll wear it when we go to Indy.
No, you got to wear it during the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Before Texas, I don't have the cowboy hat, but before we move on, I gotta talk about a couple of things about Texas. Can I give you a couple of my 2 cents on Texas?
I'll give you 2 minutes.
I think Texas should stay on the schedule. I think that goes without saying. The other thing that may not be as popular is I think it should stay on the schedule right where it was this year, right? There's equity in dates, and I think that's been said, right? I think there's equity in that date. I think bringing it into the spring, it's a little cooler weather, plus it's a precursor to Indianapolis. So I think this is where this needs to be. Tim, your thoughts?
Not if you have 5,000 fans show up. You do not go back. You move on. You've got other venues that you could go to. You go to Miami, you go to Phoenix.
Nope.
You either go to one of those two, and I think that's where you take the series. But
I like Miami, actually, is a good idea.
I do. Miami would be good.
So I said I had 2 cents, and I got a solution to the 5,000. I think I have a solution to the 5,000 fans in the stands thing.
You do?
I think so. So let me take it back. I've been talking about Toyota. I think Toyota is definitely coming to this series. I feel strongly about that. Do you know where Toyota's headquarters is? Their new U.S. headquarters?
I do. I've been in the building.
Yes, you have. Yep.
Yes. It's like a campus.
Where is it?
In Plano, Texas.
Do you know how far Plano, Texas is from Texas Motor Speedway?
I don't.
45 minutes or thereabouts, equal number of miles.
That seems to make sense then. If Plano wants or if Toyota wants a race in their backyard.
It feels right to me. Feels like Toyota could, have some hospitality, invite some guests, have their people there, could figure out a way to put more than 5,000 people in there. And I would suspect that Toyota would have a hand in helping to promote the race. It makes sense to me.
But we don't know that Toyota's coming back for sure.
That's right.
It's a rumor. And if they really want to promote it and have a race in their backyard, then absolutely. Then I think it makes sense. But there's nothing wrong with Miami, right? Yep. There's nothing wrong, and it's Homestead. But there's nothing wrong with Phoenix either, because you're on your way out west anyways, which I saw there was practice today in Birmingham, Alabama. And then they're on their way over to Long Beach. So it seems kind of awkward, but that's just the way it works.
Yeah. It feels right to me. I think that oval needs to be part of the series. I like it earlier in the season. And if Toyota's coming, they're right down the street. It's a
Honestly,
win-win for everybody.
I think it's really high banked for, the short, as short as that track is.
Yeah,
it
it's
did
one of these
produce-
gradient bankings, right? So
Yeah.
it gets more banked as the higher up it goes, like that
Mhm.
fourth lane or whatever. So
Yeah. And if they can get that other lane figured out or repave it or do something with the tar or whatever they put on it. I know there's a
PJ1,
name for
yep.
it. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
So you think it stays?
I do.
Your bet is it stays.
Yep.
Toyota comes on. They're going to promote it with the promoter, whoever that is, and get some fans in there.
Yeah, maybe co-promote it with Texas, where there's equal skin in the game, and it's not all up to Texas Motor Speedway to do all the promotion of it. So maybe IndyCar, Toyota, and Texas chip in and do what they can to help bolster that. Because you remember, like I do, there was a lot of people in the stands there. A lot of people in the stands there. They were night races too, but I think it was
That's what I was
because
just going to mention. Yeah,
it was the race after Indy, so June in Dallas. You're not going to have a June day race in Dallas. It's too hot. Nobody's going to sit in those stands and just die out there. Hey, as an aside, Toyota revealed the second GR badged vehicle last week. Did you see this?
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So they launched a new Corolla under the GR umbrella, which is for Gazoo Racing. This is the second car in the US to carry the GR badging. This is behind the Toyota Yaris.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of a sporty Yaris. I'll leave it at that because I want Toyota to join the series. It feels like it's working up the chain in sedans. Maybe we could see a Camry GR edition at Indianapolis in May.
Interesting. Do you know who's driving for Toyota Gazoo Racing in the FIA World Endurance Championship? I came across this last night.
I do not. Tell me.
It's Mike Conway.
No kidding.
Yeah, former IndyCar driver. I had no
former
idea.
winner at Long Beach.
Mm-hmm.
Only win, maybe? Yeah.
No. He won there twice.
Oh, there you go. Look at you.
Did. He won there twice.
Timmy
which is,
came
I was
in
very surprised.
To play today. I love it.
He ran with, he won with Andretti Autosport and as well as with Ed Carpenter Racing. And if I'm looking at it correctly, it was 2011 and
that's so cool.
2014.
That's good.
I don't know why I have that stat, but
I don't know. I love it though. Good job, Tim.
It's an interesting one for sure.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to some F1 news. F1 has held 2 races with the new cars and regulations. I'll say it again. These regs are just what F1 needed. 7 world championships in a row by Lewis Hamilton and Mercedes. Hey, good for them, but not exactly compelling TV for those, waking up early to watch that.
Yep.
This season, Ferrari is showing some tremendous strength. Red Bull seem to have some reliability bugs, not just the big team, but also AlphaTauri. And Mercedes is way off with this year's car so far. They'll definitely get it turned around. There's no doubt about that. Mm-hmm. It's going to be interesting, though, because of the salary, or not the salary cap, but the spending cap.
Yep.
So it's not just throwing money at it. They've got to be a little bit more strategic with what they do to pull that car together. Mm-hmm. You know who is not off base, though? Haas. Is this not crazy?
And another good run, huh?
Yes. The showing that Haas has had for the first 2 races this season, and it's early. Mm-hmm. Everybody has that same spending cap. I think there's some rules there, though, that might give Haas some advantages for CFP and maybe wind tunnel. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, they can only spend what McLaren or Ferrari or Mercedes can spend. So, did they have the people on deck to help them continue the development, whatever it may be, to keep them in that sort of that, first among equals in the midfield, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And I like it. I like the team. I think Gunther Steiner is one of my favorite characters ever. And I'm impressed.
Yeah. And they have a Ferrari engine, right?
Yes, they do.
Yep.
Yep.
So
they've got a Ferrari line,
it seems, and they've got a nice car together.
Yep.
Except they only had one car racing because of the incident. Isn't that correct? Or did they have two in the last race? Somebody was out.
Yeah, they had one in this last
Yep.
race in Saudi Arabia because of Mick Schumacher's big crash.
Yeah.
It was uglier than it seemed, right? Because I think that car's a total write-off, but Mick was pretty good. I mean, for the most part, unscathed. He claimed that he would have been able to settle up and race on Sunday, but probably a good thing that they held it out because they got to go. They have another long flyaway race, and that's more the priority. So
you watched?
I did. I always watch F1. I love F1 racing.
I did too.
Mm-hmm.
With a couple people, which was interesting.
The dudes, right?
One being my son and one
Yeah.
being a Drive to Survive fan from Texas.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Nice.
A gal by the name of Rachel, who was staying in the carriage house. She came over Sunday morning and watched the race with us, which it was interesting to see her perspective. And the only thing she's really watched is Drive to Survive.
That is so
she was
cool.
rooting, hollering. It was all good.
Who was she rooting for?
She was rooting for the Ferraris.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Very
she
cool.
was all about the Ferraris. Rachel was on it. It was good. It was a little bit of a added spice to watching the race, which we normally don't have in this house. And it was good to hear the banter back and forth between fans. So my recommendation to everybody listening is invite somebody over to watch a race because you'd never know what you're going to get.
Yes.
It was good. It was great.
We do have the benefit of real-time texting from our friend Billy, who, right, I kind of giggled a little bit, so I did put it in our notes, is the virtual safety car came out and we got a text from Bill like that. Did you notice?
Yeah, he wasn't happy. I wasn't
Not a
on my
fan.
phone much. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
did see it.
Yeah, not a fan of the VSC. So, which I can't disagree. Yeah, I can't disagree with that.
Can you imagine that in IndyCar?
No, there's so much shenanigans there. I think it's
very European. We'll just put it that way.
We'll leave it at that.
I don't know what that means. But
Yeah, none of us do.
That we would probably not consider to do here in the U.S. But
They're gentlemanly, right? It's a police yourself.
Yeah, it's like hold your spot.
Yeah.
Go around slowly, please.
One other topic on F1, if I may.
You may.
What do you think of this cat and mouse race to the DRS line? Like where they don't want to be the first to get to DRS because they want to use DRS so they can get the spot back.
Yeah, I think it's strategy, right? And
it is.
It did cause a big incident last year, which
that was problematic, but that was problematic in a lot of ways. But
it makes sense if you want to take over the spot, because if you take the DRS on the first go around and you actually pass them, or vice versa, however that works, if you do the DRS in the first one and then you pass them in that first section and you go around to the next one and you're in front, then they're going to get the DRS and pass you, and then you got a whole nother lap before you come back. And that's what I was seeing that was going on.
I don't necessarily mind it. It doesn't bother me. I listened to all those podcasts and they talked about it a lot last week. It doesn't bother me. It's strategy. As long as you don't do the brake check thing like last year with Max and Lewis. But I think it works out. I think it's smart. I think it's going to become a problem. So because I'm here for solutions today, right? Texas, now F1.
Yeah.
So my solution here is just give it to everybody all the time in the DRS zones. This 1 second rule, who cares?
Everybody gets it.
Everybody gets it all the time. You pass the DRS zone, DRS open, everybody gets to go for it.
Then just get rid of it.
Or get rid of it. But I think in the near term, you can just open it up to everybody. I don't know. You can just take it away for this year.
Very good.
Yeah. $150 million budget cap on development, knowing that that's part of the deal.
I don't think you'd make
Probably
a
hard
major
to do.
change anyways, but
no, you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me.
Isn't there one more F1 news? One big one? Las Vegas. Viva Las Vegas, baby.
Yeah. You know what? I
That's the
didn't
other
put,
one.
oh my gosh, I'm so remiss. I did not put that in there. So that gives us now a third Formula One race in the United States. Some weird time though. I don't know if that was 10 p.m. Eastern or 10 p.m. Pacific, which would make it 1 a.m. Eastern if it's 10 p.m. Pacific, and it's Saturday.
Yeah, it's a Saturday night race is what they want to do, which makes sense. It's Vegas, right? Everybody wants to see the lights.
It's going to make for a beautiful race backdrop, but it's also going to put it on Sunday in Europe, in Australia, New Zealand. It's going to put it on Sunday there.
Prime time for them. Yeah.
So it looks pretty cool. Guy was talking to probably this morning. It's been a long day. Was telling me he saw something on Racer about somebody was going around the proposed track and showing where it was at. And there's a video on Racer for that. I haven't had a chance to look at that.
I didn't see it either, but I did hear about that.
Yeah. So but I thought that was pretty good.
Too many US events, in your opinion?
Well, no, because there's demand. You and I are going to COTA.
Yes,
right. We bought our tickets, and 24 hours later, our friend Lance looked online. Same link I sent him was the one that you sent, right? For where we got our tickets, sold out.
Wow.
The official FIA thing sold out.
Yeah.
So
Miami was the same way when I looked.
Yep. Miami was the same way.
Expensive.
Yep. And sold out. So if you keep doing it,
if you wanted them in a resale, they were super expensive. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. So if there continues to be demand, then why not? I like how they have it spread out though. Right. Don't you? You've got Miami, right? East, you've got Texas, which is, South Central. And then you've got Vegas, which is West.
I just don't think you can sustain 3 races in the US, but I don't know if it's sustainable from a standpoint. How many years is it? 2 years and one of them is going to go away, I would imagine.
Maybe.
I don't think you can keep up with the demand, but if it's here now, Vegas is going to be cool. It'll be fun. I don't know. We might have to go.
Maybe. I'm in. Just let me know. You know me.
Vegas flights are easy, right?
Just assume.
All right. I know you're always in. All I can say, I'm going, and you're like, okay, I'm in.
Hey, Tim, are you surprised to see we got a NASCAR topic?
Do NASCAR's next.
So yes,
we're going to get to Long Beach fans.
Yes, we are. We're going to get to our Long Beach pick here, but we got some news and we got, time to fill. So intentionally or otherwise, I think NASCAR gets the bump if we feel the show is running a little long. I think you'd agree with that. Yeah, with that said, there was a topic that deserves some attention because it does kind of fall along our general sweet spot of interest, and that's IMSA, so to speak.
Yeah.
NASCAR announced that they would be taking the current gen car to Le Mans in 2023. How? Well, I'm glad you asked, Tim.
Yeah, I don't know. How's that going to happen?
IMSA, NASCAR, Hendrick Motorsports, Chevy, and Goodyear will enter a car under something called the Garage 56 entry. So this entry will not take the place, will not be bumping, right? We're an IndyCar show, so I think everybody understands, right? It isn't going to bump anybody from the show, but it gives an opportunity to showcase innovation. Tim, I'm not NASCAR hating. I'm just asking a question. Do you think innovation?
So you want me to hate?
No, I want you to be thoughtful. I have just a hater look all the time. So if you're watching this on YouTube, it looks like I hate. But I don't think innovation when I think that current generation NASCAR.
I think it brings some innovation in the NASCAR realm of things. And what I mean by that is I feel like they've always been traditionalist with their car, their technology. And so they push the envelope here a little bit. So to them, it's innovative.
See, that's why you got it. That's why you got the answer.
To a Formula One fan and a race fan, it is not innovative.
No.
And even to an IndyCar fan, I think it could be a little innovative, right? They brought a brand new car, went to one lug nut. How many years have we had one lug nut?
One this season.
No, IndyCar.
Oh, I don't, for as long as I've been watching.
Same here.
Yeah.
So they're doing new things. Did you see in the NASCAR race how they're doing the pit stops differently? I know.
Nope.
Like I
just read about it and I'm not adding it here. So, but go ahead.
I was just saying all the pit crew was running in front of the car instead of behind, and in front and behind it. I don't know. It's like this new methodology in order to have a quicker stop. So we'll see if it actually pays off.
Interesting.
Yeah.
In any case, Chad Knaus will be the program manager for this, which means, they're not fooling around, right? Chad comes to play. So it's going to be, I'm sure they're going to do it top notch. It's Hendricks, it's Chevy, it's NASCAR. They're going to do it the best they possibly can. I do want to make one final comment. YouTube superfan Mark did suggest they got to do something with the power band, right? Because the cars at COTA compared to IMSA at COTA, and they're well down. You can't go all that way and with all this fanfare, because it's surely going to be, right? It's surely going to be a big deal. You can't go all that way to just be a moving chicane for 24 hours.
Yeah.
Nobody's in on that. Are they going to compete? Well, hopefully they compete somewhere. They put out a pretty good show. We just don't want to see them in the way. Do you agree?
I agree. So,
I think I wrote trundle around.
Yeah. So for me, they have to change the power band and to make it all kind of come together in order to get some top end speed and get some speed off the corners.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense, right?
Yep.
It's going to sound pretty cool though. Out there.
It'll be cool. Oh yeah, no doubt. And a Camaro and LeMans. That's pretty cool. So, hey, congratulations to Denny Hamlin, who won yesterday at Richmond. Boost to that team. They seem to have gotten off to a slow start.
Did you watch some of that?
I did not watch any of it.
I watched some of it except for the last 20 laps.
Didn't watch any of it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Daytona, Talladega. Yeah. Daytona, Talladega, Bristol. Those are the races that I try to make an attempt.
Well,
to watch.
Bristol, the dirt race is coming up. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. See, I'm not, but
that's on Easter Sunday. It's an Easter Sunday evening race.
Did not know that. That's weird.
It's kind of, what else do you do Easter Sunday in the evening?
Ready to go to Las Vegas on Monday morning.
Oh,
for work.
Sometimes work gets in the way of things.
To the listeners, I promise we're going to get to our picks here. So did you see, Tim, that we're moving on to IndyCar? Finally, we're getting closer.
Oh, all right. Let's do it.
Did you see that Charlie Kimball was race strategist for Ed Carpenter at Texas? How did we miss this?
I did not see it. I didn't know anything about it until I read the notes.
Yeah, he had Derek Walker was kind of shadowing him, helping him on the timing stand there. This, just so he wasn't drinking from the fire hose, I'm sure. But it sounds enjoyable. And Charlie said it was a one-off effort there with Ed Carpenter, but he did have someone from other team reach out. And if I were to speculate, because I'm into solutions and speculations today, my speculation would be Juncos Racing probably reached out, and it makes a lot of sense, right? It's the next best thing to having a teammate.
It is
for Callum Ilott. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, totally.
Yep. I think that's pretty cool. I really do. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't think many people picked up on that, and I guess it's a topic, right? It's a topic of discussion here on the podcast, so it's important. We'll
see if it if he does it more, if he shows up at Indy or somebody else's timing stand, but it could be a second chapter for Charlie Kimball. You never know.
Yeah, was Bourdais back out there, Texas?
I don't remember seeing him.
No, because he was at St. Pete. Remember?
That's right. Box. Yeah, Foyt box. Yeah. I don't remember seeing him, and nobody talked about it. So
you're right.
On to the main event.
Oh,
Long Beach. I have always wanted to go to this race, and I really believed that at some point I would have a chance to go to this race. My brother lived right there, basically, for probably 10 years. He no longer lives there. Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, my brother was up in the LA area there.
Yeah. So there you go.
He's been plenty of times.
Yeah. And my brother never went, but it would have been a good place for me to base and then go to the race and be there and, have free lodging and everything, but never made it. So.
Yeah, I just asked one of the gentlemen I work with. I said, "Hey, are you going to the race?" Because he's down in the San Diego area, and I know he went last year. And he said, "No, I can't make it this year," but he's a big race fan. And then he happened to tell me he's looking to buy tickets to go to the Mexico F1 race. I was like, "Wow, that's cool. I love that track."
Yeah, I know that
area
would be fun. Yeah,
yeah. So he was talking about that, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty awesome."
Yeah, what is it? The Brothers Rodriguez Autodrome, right? Hermanos Rodriguez Autodrome.
Yeah, potentially.
Yeah. So, Timmy, you got some Long Beach fast facts. Lay it on us.
I do have some facts. I got to find them, though, because I'm kind of lost on the paperwork here. So here we go. Let's do it. So the first race in Long Beach took place in 1975, and it was a Formula 5000 race. That following year in 1976, the first F1 race took place there. Dan, do you know when the first IndyCar race, and it was a kart event, took place in Long Beach?
I don't, but I can cheat.
Yeah, you didn't know.
No, I didn't know that.
1984. And the winner was
Mario Andretti.
Mario Andretti. And it was actually his second win in Long Beach. His first win came in 1977 in an F1 event, and he was driving a Lotus.
That's very cool.
That is cool. I thought that was cool. I was like, wow, that's interesting,
Yeah.
right? Because everybody talks about the history of Long Beach, how long it's been there. That'll make it the 47th year, if my math is right, that Long Beach will be there having a race. So that's
How old are you, Tim?
47th. I know we had the COVID year, so it's 46, but whatever.
How old are you, Tim?
Same age.
Yep.
And how about you, Dan?
Same.
Which is kind of cool. That was 1975 because that's
Yep.
both. That's the same year that.
So your math is right.
Yes. Yep. That made it easy. And a couple other things, right? There's plenty of first-time IndyCar winners at Long Beach, which I didn't know this.
This is fascinating, actually.
Yeah. Michael Andretti got his first IndyCar win at Long Beach. Juan Pablo Montoya did as well. Mike Conway, which came up earlier, and not only did he get one, but he got two, but it was his first ever IndyCar win. And Takuma Sato. It's pretty cool.
Love it. That is cool.
And then James Hinchcliffe won his first career Indy Lights race at Long Beach in 2010. Pretty cool stuff. And then here's the question I have for you, Dan. This is a great question. And for the listeners, who has the most Long Beach Grand Prix wins in history?
That guy in the air right there. For those on the YouTube channel.
Is that a Valvoline car?
Unser Jr. Yes.
Nice. Yes. With six victories.
That's right.
And as you said before, I think he's the king of
the beach.
King of the beach.
That's right. I remember those Paul Page vignettes. I loved those. Before the IndyCar races started on ESPN, ABC, and all that, they would do the announcements. They'd have the video, kind of the excite reel, right? And they were running through all that stuff. I love that.
So is that the Valvoline car back there?
That is the Valvoline car back there.
It is the Valvoline.
That's wrong. Yep.
That's cool. Cool. And so before we get to our picks, which are coming right up, right?
Yeah.
Which team has won the last three events in Long Beach?
I did not know this, and I'm glad you brought it up. Andretti Autosport.
They have.
Yep.
So they won it last year with Herta and the previous 2 years with Rossi.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you got to take the COVID year out. But
yeah.
And then the winner before that,
James Hinchcliffe, friend of the show.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you have it.
On to the picks and stories we'll be watching. I exposed my picks and then I give you all this time to research yours. So good job on that, Tim, because that was good stuff. That definitely shows your research. My projected poll, Romain Grosjean. I'm expecting not only good things for Andretti Autosport to get this thing turned around at Long Beach, where obviously they've got a nice history. Turn this thing around at Andretti, but I fully expect to see Romain Grosjean do well there.
Interesting.
You?
And for me, I have zero confidence in the Andretti Autosport team right now. So there's no way I'm picking them for a pole or a victory. So those drivers are off the list. My pole winner is Scott McLaughlin.
Oh, that would
Scotty is going to make it happen.
Yep.
Again.
On city streets like he did in St. Pete.
That's my prediction. I think they got the package. They figured it out very quickly at the first race. He's going to pull through again.
I like it. I'm writing it down.
Yeah.
Projected winner, Dan's projected winner, Will Power.
Wow.
Because of Penske dominance and Will. That's literally all it says in the notes. I think I missed something there, right? Penske dominance and Will.
Yeah. No, that is good.
It's obviously a thought I never came back to. Who do you get?
I have my pole winner winning the race.
Scotty
McLaughlin. He is going to sweep it this year, and everybody's going to be scratching their head of why they didn't choose him to win the championship.
Wow.
So Will Power last won in 2012, and he's got 2 victories at Long Beach.
At Long Beach, yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, he does. He has 2 Long Beach, and he's got 3 second place finishes.
Well, Maybe he's in for a second this year.
Behind his teammate, obviously.
Yeah,
There you
what
go.
it looks like.
Well, good job. We'll be watching that. Stories to watch: Chevy drivability, which seems to be just off the charts now, right? And fuel mileage.
Yep.
And can they continue to take it to Honda, who's been so strong in that area over the last several seasons? And Penske, can they continue this?
You better put your hat on. Of course they can. Put your hat on. I can't believe you went all show without putting that hat on. There you go. That's the team to beat. They've always been the team to beat. And I know last year they had that off season where they had some ups and downs, but they still finished second in the championship. And I remind you this every time we talk. And man, if I would have known better at the beginning of the season, I would have changed my picks.
I don't think we can't get to it now, obviously, because we're in the midst of this thing. I'd be curious to know when's the last time Penske won at Long Beach and who it was. Because I would bet you it's Will Power probably back whenever you said that was.
It was not.
Oh, it wasn't? Who was it?
It was Simon Pagenaud who won in 2016. It was the year prior to. So Hinchcliffe won in 17. You have 3 drivers from Andretti Autosport who won in 18, 19, and then 2021. So yes, it was Simon Pagenaud in 2016. And that brings Team Penske victories at Long Beach to 6 total since the series has been there.
There you go. Equal number that Al has, just himself.
That's crazy.
Think about that. That is crazy. Second story I'm watching, Andretti. I already mentioned I expect them to get it together. I expect Roman to have a strong weekend. But what about Herta? Can Herta shake off these pit stops? These bad pit stops that have plagued them over the first 2 races of the season. And Alexander Rossi, if it's there to plague, it's plaguing Alexander Rossi. Bad luck bug, man. It's got it bad.
I hope the team's figured it out.
You don't think so, though?
I don't think so. No, I don't think they're going to pull through here. I think their streak of 3 wins in a row is going to stop this weekend, which is unfortunate. It'd be good to see them back up there, but they just, something's off. Something's not right. Too many things going on. I'm not sure. And it just hasn't shown anything on the track for the first 2 races. Yeah.
They could be stretching it thin there. That's what I think it is that they're stretched a little too thin. My third story to watch here, Rahal, Letterman, Lenigan. Can they finally get it together for qualifying? I'm going to leave that.
Dan, I want you to keep the faith.
And can Jack have a clean race? That's right. I've mentioned right here and everywhere else. There comes a time where it's like you're trying too hard, dude. Right? You got a contract in hand. It's a multi-year contract in hand. We hired you for a reason. We like you. We think you got potential. Just take what the card can give you, and we're gonna continue to develop it, even if we're doing it during the race with good strategy and everything. Because Graham, right? They have not qualified well for several seasons, but they've always seemed to finish, well. If they don't get caught up in somebody's thing or cause somebody else's problem, but they always seem to bring it through, right? Wow. It's unfortunate. It shouldn't start that way. If you're starting 5th or 6th or 3rd or 2nd or 1st, right? You got a lot less opportunity for something to go wrong there. And they're not. They're starting in 14th, 16th, 18th place, and that's a mess. They got to get that thing cleaned up. But God, can they get it together?
I don't know. We've been talking about this for a long time. And until they can show up, I don't think we predict that they can do it, right? They got to do it on their own and then have us talk about it to say, they finally did it. So what's a good result for that team?
For that team?
Yeah, for any driver on that team.
I think get everybody across the line. Top 12.
Have all cars in the top 12.
Yep. Yeah. And no broken pieces.
Yeah.
Over the course of the weekend.
I wish you would have said to be on the podium, because that should be a podium placing team.
It should be a podium placing team, but right now they're not playing like one.
No, man.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. That's why they race. So we'll see
what
happens.
That's right.
May come through.
You know me, right? My line is prove me wrong. I'm totally fine with it. I'm totally fine with it. I have no problem with it. I have an ego, but not from that perspective.
Yeah.
What, you got a story that you want to throw out here that you'll be watching for?
No, I don't. I actually don't have one. I'm just going to be watching. For me, the story for me is watching the sun, the palm trees, and the atmosphere. I want to see how many people show up to this race. And I think it's going to be really good. I know
This
last
close
year
to
it
the
was
last
really,
one.
really good.
Yeah, right. This close to the last one.
Yeah.
People still going to be out there.
Yeah. So
So
I'm kind of people watching a little bit. And then, yeah, seeing what Andretti does. I'm just curious what that whole team does this weekend.
yep. I had two other finalists that I could probably say. One would be Rinus VK, who I think is a star in the making. I think Rinus VK and Ganassi. Right? Ganassi's just quietly good at everything, it feels like, right? So I think they'll be okay. We didn't pick them here.
No,
Neither one of us did. But they're going to be in the picture.
They won last in 2015, so it's been
Yep.
a long time.
They'll be in the picture.
Yeah, they will. But again, it's Honda, right? So you're looking
Yep.
at Honda versus Chevrolet, and we both went with Chevrolet for the winner.
Yeah, we did. Quick mailbag, YouTube viewer Andrew. And I know you like this. Andrew notes he'd like to see Santino Ferrucci in a full-time ride. I know you feel the same way. I don't disagree. I'm not anxious to see it, but I don't disagree with that. And I know that you agree with that, don't you?
100%.
Yes, I know.
No doubt.
So if you had all power, you were the IndyCar czar, where would you put him?
I said this last week.
Penske.
2 weeks ago. I would put him in the fourth Penske car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would do that. And you put that equipment underneath him. He is going to turn some heads and he's going to drive that machine and he's not going to wreck that machine and he's going to finish on the podium many times.
Yeah. Shake up that team probably a little bit.
Yeah. Where would you put him?
Right where he's at.
Oh my gosh.
Super sub. Some humble pie. Go out there and prove yourself when you get a shot, and then take your chances wherever you can.
I can't believe you. Oh my goodness.
Humble pie.
Right where he's at.
Keep eating that
I think he'd be
humble
good
pie,
for
brother.
the series. Can you think of any? We'll call him a bad boy because that's kind of a bad term.
Paul Tracy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He was great.
Yes. He lives a very good life. He made a very good living out of being the bad boy, right?
I know. It was so good to watch. It was fun, exciting. And at the same time, if he ran your driver off the track, you were so angry with him, but he brought a lot of spice.
I can't think of anybody else who's even close to that. Can you?
No, not in our era. Like I'm sure there were some in the 70s and stuff like that, but I don't have enough recollection of those races being born in the 70s, as we talked about earlier.
This is an unfair question, so I'll give it to you as an unfair question. So right now our number for Indianapolis seems to be stuck at 32, and I'm sure that Roger and everybody else wants to see 33 cars out there, but those proposed 33rd entries have kind of come and gone, and it doesn't.
Yep.
I mean, those opportunities are getting lighter and lighter.
I read that today. Yep.
Yeah, I just read that too. Who would you put in the 33rd car? Santino's already out there, by the way.
Yeah, you're right.
Yep.
That's it's a good question. I'm not
to
sure
say.
who I would put out there. There's got to be a lot of young drivers that are ready to do it. Maybe, I don't know, is there an Indy Lights driver that's ready to go? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Honestly. So do you have somebody that you think?
Amp a little bit, because I do. And if I don't write it down, it doesn't get in there, as you know. So, but
which team?
So here's the deal. This is what I'm going to tell you is it makes me feel like, would Roger Penske make that fourth car available? Because it certainly is, right? I mean, if anybody has the resources to pull that together, I think it's Roger Penske.
So let me ask you this,
Mhm.
because this is the question that came to my mind when I was reading the article. Do you think Roger Penske would let the Indy 500 go off this year with 32 cars?
No, absolutely not.
We will have 33 cars.
Yep.
And it's either going to be Team Penske or the team that they did last year. That was a sister
Coretta
team.
Autosport.
Yes.
Yep.
That's what's going to happen.
Yep.
And
With Simona.
Because the storyline for Indy cannot be there's 32 entries, and that's what
Right.
everybody's going to talk about rather than the action.
Series on the upswing, right? Ratings are really good.
Yeah.
Everybody's real happy. Everybody's got a great positive outlook.
And
We
then
had
you're going to have
one short
Mhm.
of the marquee event.
Yep.
Yep.
So it will not happen. So everybody that's fretting, that's going to be just 32 cars. It'll be 33. I will guarantee it. But the talk will be there's no bump day. And remember,
Yep.
we talked about going
Yeah, that's a
to-
bummer. Yeah.
to Indy
qualifying.
for
Yep.
qualifying. There's no bumping. Do
Why?
you go?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because it would be exciting to see the speeds. Indy Lights driver that I would see in there is Matthew Brabham.
Okay.
He's bounced around. He's an IndyCar guy. It's in his blood.
Okay.
Leading the Indy Lights Championship. He's running for Andretti Autosport. I'd like to see him in there. I think, Wilson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's fine.
How about like take it up a notch? We had NASCAR in this.
Yeah, but I
Do you
I
bring
think
a
they got to
NASCAR
be.
driver over?
I think they got to be in it by now already. They would have had to have tested and kind of got to know who that team is. Who are you thinking of? Are you thinking of Kyle Larson like everybody else is?
I know.
He's a talent. There's no doubt. He's a talent, right? Very rare
Wheel it around.
talent.
Yeah.
Yes. In the right car.
Penske car.
Yeah, he's a Penske fourth driver perspective, right? The name I saw online was Alex Munoz. He had some strong finishes there with Andretti. I think that might have been a budget thing or
Was it
whatever.
Carlos?
Why he's not bad. Carlos Munoz. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I did see that. There was
That's not a
discussion about
bad.
that.
That's
with
not
his,
a bad thought.
It's not.
Yeah,
Not at
that's
all.
not a bad thought.
It'd be good. And he's had great finishes. I saw the stats.
Yep.
I think it was Brian, wasn't it, Brian? Chef
Yep.
Brian?
Yeah.
Put it
Yeah.
together. It
Yep.
looked really good. I was like, wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool. So his results look better than what even Santino's were out there. But
Yeah.
Even a second place. So
Yes.
it's a possibility, but apparently he's going to have to bring funding. But I think if it comes down to
Maybe.
somebody bringing funding, if nobody does bring funding, someone's going to bring it, and we know the guy
Yes.
that's going to bring it.
Yeah. RP. It's the guy who owns the place.
Totally. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Yep.
And
Put somebody out there.
and even to, and this is going at another level to even bring bump day. Do you even put another car, a second car to get 34?
No.
That's going way up.
Yeah. Contrived bumping. No,
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Mm-hmm. Well, time will tell, and I guarantee there'll be 33 cars.
Matthew Brabham, though, that's a name to watch.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
back to your hat real quick. Is that like a shield on there? Like a
Yeah, it's the Team Penske logo, and it just has the 600 on the bottom.
Oh, that's cool. Is that embroidered or is it like a
Yeah, it's
metal-
embroidered. Yeah.
Oh, cool. It looks like a
Yep.
metal thing from on
Yeah.
the camera. That's
I've never worn my hat like this.
Did you
I don't
send
think I
one
will
to the-
ever wear my hat like this
Did you
again.
send one to my house?
I did not.
Okay.
I did
Just
not.
checking.
Although you can have this one if you want it, because this isn't a good hat for
Well,
me.
multiple.
No.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
I like it. It looks good.
The last of my props.
It's mesh in the back. It's like a
It's a trucker hat.
it's a trucker hat. I like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, that's all I got.
That's all I got too. It's good to be back.
It is good to be back. Looking forward to Long
next week.
Beach. Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Same place, same time. Talking about Long Beach, and everybody will be proving us wrong.
Yeah. Can't wait to see the fountain with the dolphin and the
Yes.
water. Yeah.
It's gonna be fun. Hey, continue to engage with us on social media. We love it. We put we put you in the show, obviously, because we do like the comments. We like everything that you bring to it. So we think it brings a different dimension to it. So we appreciate it. Twitter, Instagram, our YouTube channel, which is done extraordinarily well. And we'll put all that in the show notes. So, but we do appreciate you tuning in, and we'll catch you next week after Long Beach.
Yep. Take care.
See you.